from the 23rd of the second month of 1444 seasons. 7 of Aer hesitates, because a fresh view is not about identity. 7 of Chin reversed is being carefully watched in his alchemy. Bon Rian of Chin takes priority in the time of the sexual and other types of disorderly, as Pabav Katha, the battle crow, brings confusion to some, and for us is orderly. With a strength of will, Vrud Ye Nia Pavanva was herself initially. Her rounded attitude was of the virginal earth in the western island, but Iru of Fotal were to follow with an artistic personality in that fertile land and sovereignty to direct by her hand. 10 of Aer reversed is a defeat of the band. Bonrian of Ishki has real psychic ability, but Fawn needs to maintain spiritually sound activity. Beautiful teardrop is of both worlds, but desire and action are sometimes meant to be separately. 5 of Daoain reversed is how we navigate the labyrinth out of true poverty. 6 of Ishki is the experience and practice of life's poetry. And what are your initial thoughts regarding these cards?
Well, it came to my mind, the green pastures of Ireland. In the spring, that beautiful green color that covers their pastures over in Ireland. It also brought me to my attention to this card, the Aeon. Aeon, am I saying that right? I'm sorry for the lighting.
Well, it depends on what language you're saying it in, but yeah.
That just, my eye went to that when you were reading. And
well, I was probably thinking about, with the strength of will, okay, how do you say this? Vrud Ie Nia Pavanva was herself initially. Her rounded attitude was of the virginal earth in the western island, but Iru of Fatal were to follow with an artistic personality in that fertile land and sovereignty to direct by her hand. And I guess that also coupled with 5 of Daoin reversed is how we navigate the labyrinth out of true poverty.
And poverty, what is poverty?
Well, like a lot of people don't know what it is. If people have
a bank account,
if people have a lot more than they need, they're like, oh, but other people have more. Yeah, well,
a person can be wealthy and have literally no bank account.
Oh, well, that's one of the things too. Like, I've shared ideas of charity, and it's like, no, dude, you can't just get this idea in your head that, you know, if you think that there's some sort of religious alms or something, you can't just spend so much on going out to eat and everything else that you have no alms. It's like, oh, but I never have any savings. It's like, you obviously should be giving more charity to somebody who can't afford to do this stuff.
This it just popped into my head recently. I saw someone comment that it was shocking to me. The comment on a random video somewhere, they stated they would rather be rich and unhappy instead of happy and poor. Like,
Yeah.
Like I was shocked, speechless.
Well, that's the thing being put forward. Oh, I'd really like to do this, but this is only a 7-digit property here. You guys are going to have to spend 2 million over here, another 5 over there for the apartment complex of workers, and
luxury costs a lot. I would think.
Well,
I would
the slash factory that they want to put in. Yes, it's all about my followers. I swear I'm not opening a church yet because my cup has to flow over. 6 of Ishki is the experience and practice of life's poetry. And the strength of will is, of course, the strength or lust card. So you've got this, say, on both aspects. Like the woman's on the outside, not the same, and you have the lion, but it's not as crude as the Chaos Beast in the Thoth Tarot, but it also doesn't have those 10 heads that kind of represent oh, I'm a poet over here, and I'm a soldier over here, and that sort of stuff. But either way, it's about control rather than what you have. And this is kind of dim. But this 5 card, 5 is usually, because 5 is Mars. So Mars is full of strife and all that sort of stuff. But it's just not, okay, what do I have to do with my money? And as you can see, I'm trying to mix in the mythology of the various things. Ban Rian of Ishki has real psychic ability, but Fawn needs to maintain spiritually sound activity. Beautiful Teardrop is of both worlds, but desire and action are sometimes meant to be separately. And of course, feel free to say anything about any particular card. But one of the things about this deck is that it's like it requires study. Now, to understand the Thoth Tarot, sometimes you have to read Crowley's books and stuff like that. So I understand that too. But if you look up the mythology, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to, okay, what is the basic card and how does it relate to this mythology? And that's what I was trying to work out. That's why I call it inviting to a pre-Celtic world.
Yeah. These cards here, it's like I'm trying to get them, and I can kind of get them, but I don't know. Like you said, maybe I need to read some more of the books, the Thoth deck, because it's like I can look at them and I can see and feel things, but
well, there's a basic structure and stuff. That as far as the Thoth deck, Lon Milo Duquette's understanding the Thoth deck with the Princess of Discs on the cover.
Yeah.
But just like other stuff, it's try not to make it about the cult, but about the fact that he tried to blend in these different mythological systems.
It's like the intuition, imagination equals creation. It's got to be.
And what is this card? Seven of Air, hesitates because a fresh view is not about identity. You know, because you know, the edge and stuff is all defined, but it's not about the terms you put on the edge. So the swords are kind of in a disordered state there. And 7 of Qin reversed is being carefully watched in his alchemy. Now, one thing I found out about this, as far as I know, without looking up the other decks, this is my most expensive tarot deck. So once I'm done doing this series, it's going up. Because at the very least, I've done the series. Give me my $300-something for it. I'll take it right now. But the but no, it's important because it's one of my favorite decks because of how it relates to a system by itself, and it's not just, oh, I'm going to draw these pretty pictures of fairies. It actually, you know.
Right. I just keep seeing Ireland all over the place there.
Well, because that's what it's supposed to be. The terms, it's supposed to be, you know, the language terms, and I've given meaning to it, and it's about the mythology, the pre-Celtic mythology. You know, because the Celts are the German Austrian invaders that went west. The pre-Celtic stuff is, you know, it's represented. I mean, they call it Celtic, but Celtic really doesn't apply. At 2,000 years ago, it didn't apply to the people of Ireland and Scotland and stuff. But the mythology is broader than that, but very specifically Ireland and Scotland, because we're using Gaelic and Gaelic.
A lot of research on our family and the Christ and just all kinds of sorts of things, and I have along the way lost all of her research. It was heartbreaking. But I wish I had it because she was about to like trace the MacArthur of Scotland to a castle there that our ancestors were over during the 1400s, and that castle was.
If you want me to pause this, because I can do that.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
It's fascinating. It's fascinating. So I don't mind to share it.
Bon Rion
I won't say the castle.
takes priority in the time of sexual and other types of disorderly, as Pavav Katha, the battle crow, brings confusion to some, and for us is orderly. So it's the inside and outside thing too. Because just other people are like, oh, it doesn't matter what I feel like doing, and not even realizing where your feelings are being directed and that sort of stuff. This is not that sort of character. Of course, every card's a good or bad card. It just depends on how you twist it. That's why you can't rely on, no matter how much you or how little you pay somebody to do a card reading for you. Thinking that somebody's going to shuffle the deck and tell you your future and not try to actually make you your way or something, their way or something like that.
They want you to come back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, that's especially why there's anxiety usually associated with it.
It's going to be a good reading.
The 10 of air. What is this? Reversed is a defect of the bond. Oh, the band. Okay, it's the band. Well, there's the mind there. Mind written in the middle there. There's some other stuff that's not. Now, I've looked up with some of the stuff what it says, but they should always tell you, oh yeah, this word in this language means this. Put that in the book. Just another half page here, another half page there. Tell us what all the stuff on the card is, just in short. Not don't tell us, you know, this. That's my one complaint about the deck. Is that it comes with with a book that says stuff like, if you want to become more acquainted with or more intimate with the cards, you may want to learn look up and figure out what everything says and what it means. It's like, tell us,
Right.
you know.
Right. That's the purpose of the book, right?
I mean, there's a lot of stuff, and it's helpful showing some of the differences, but it's just kind of.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But so everybody lays down their weapons, and they, they're hanging out there. But see, that's how in some of the either myths or actually what happened, they sit back and they have this, that's how they get conquered. It's like, oh well, we'll just leave let's set our weapons aside and get all drunk and everything else, and I think that was one of the things in one of the Book of Mormon stories. I don't think. I think maybe Joseph Smith had some experience. He stuck his head in a hat, and it's like, I can do that. I've never seen much of a book, but it's like I can do some level of that sort of stuff, which is why the church told people not to do that. It's like, people are coming up with their own books of scripture. Oh, that book isn't from Christ, or whatever the actual words were.
Wow. Yeah.
But the techniques work, and that's one of the things is that they come with techniques that people can deal with their thoughts and bring up feelings and maybe have some trippy visual or sensual sorts of things going on. And but okay, so what were the cards that I mentioned? Aren't we on to because we're
I've got these are the ones that
so the ace and princess of swords and the full, I would think, because I think we're doing the.
I got it was the full princess of swords and the ace of swords.
Yeah, always the princess and the well, not always, but you know what I mean. My cards of the season, I've that's basically been the format that I'm focusing on here.
Okay. Yeah, here is the ace of swords. Well, that kind of just pops out at you. I've got
and what is it? It says I'm not sure what it says in the chat book, but what's the Greek dilemma? Oh, I thought you were going to have the ace of swords. Okay, the fool.
Yeah. Here we go. This is the ace of swords. Sorry about the lighting. It's really, I'm not good at lighting.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. So it's that directed thought. Your thoughts are, because it's the will card. But obviously, when you reach that top point, there's a further. So every single card, it's like things go beyond the card edge.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah. I've got the fool and the princess of swords.
Some of them, you can definitely understand the some of the you think of the aces as like they're the throne of the princess, and but some of the cards, it makes a lot more sense. Okay, you can sit on a big old coin, you can sit on a cup, even if it's hard to get out and it's big or whatever. But on a sword or a flaming wand, that's just not going to work.
Right. Not at all.
I'm trying to think of what exactly the princess has there.
See if I can get it to. Let me put the light on it.
So it's obviously the starting card, but you see there's an altar there. So some sort of devotion or cause starts the effort, and you're striking out there, it looks like.
Yeah.
But so that's where all the potential is. I'm going to work out my thoughts, and the thoughts are too much, and hopefully you're not like that one person. As long as I smoke marijuana, I feel like there's problems surrounding me, and I know what the problems are, and And the more I smoke marijuana, the more I feel like those problems like move around and maybe I could do something about it. It's like, but when you're sober, you don't perceive problems surrounding you, and you're not all upset because of those problems. And maybe at some point there's a relief that you don't notice the problems. It's like, but you didn't notice the problems when you weren't using, you know.
These chemicals are just added chemicals. Is
Now,
not.
I mean, not everybody has that experience, but obviously that's a sign you can't handle. That's a sign that woman cannot handle her marijuana.
Yeah. If you can't handle it, don't do it, which I say don't do it anyway, and totally be, you know.
Yeah, there's a huge difference between medicine and recreation, and between recreation and shamanism. It's not shamanism that you claim, I'm a spiritual leader, so I can use any drug I can get a hold of. It's like, oh, well, you have you find somebody has a, you know, I think I referred you to a video of somebody in their bathroom.
I don't need to hurt it further.
They said, oh, meth had messed this up. Or, oh, that was when I was on meth. And it's like, wait, what? You're supposed to be the sane one leading the group? Yeah. But I guess